You remember the first martyr recorded in the Bible when Stephen was killed in the New Testament? He stood for his testimony. He would not bow. He would not bend. And they took his life. And do you remember the last thing Stephen said? Sounded like Jesus on the cross. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Forgive them. And do you know what? His testimony was a powerful testimony, because the Bible says when Stephen was stoned to death, there's a little bitty phrase there that captures that, and it says, and they took their cloaks off to stone him to death, and they laid them at the feet of a young man named, do you remember this? Saul. Paul, the apostle, watched Stephen die. And you wonder if maybe the testimony and the grace of this man, as he faced that without bitterness, without anger, but with love in his heart for the very people that were doing that to him, opened the door for the testimony of the gospel to ring true in the heart of Paul later. Forgive them, he said. So when the word's not clear, and it's not a worship issue, guard your witness and ask yourself that question. How does this reflect Christ? If I do this, how does it reflect Christ? If I participate, how does it reflect Christ? If I give in, how does it reflect Christ? And I want to make sure that I conduct myself in a way that honors Christ, and I will draw a line in the sand to protect my witness. So when we look at Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and I might even mention one other thing that I think is interesting. There weren't that many line in the sand issues for these guys.